Why did Obi-Wan say that? Why was Obi-Wan like, her? I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to use my energy. I haven't talked to anybody since I sat on that log and talked to Luke and Dagobah. Rey's the one. I'm going to talk to Rey. That's what's going to happen. We're going to get into that. Is it possible that we're going to understand that connection more in the upcoming Star Wars trilogy by Simon Kinberg? We'll get into that more later on, but welcome everybody to TRB. Yes, we are here week after week to talk Star Wars with you because we love Star Wars and we could talk about Star Wars forever. Every time Lacey and I start a new podcast or a new video, even if it's a short topic, we're like, oh, how are we going to fill time with this? And all of a sudden we look up and it's a 30-minute chat. We love talking about Star Wars. We can't get enough. We used to do it twice a week, but it was maybe too much at the time. But here we are.
But we have other things we like to talk about too, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. We have Nerdy and Nice. We're talking Superman over there. We're talking the DCU. We're talking K-pop Demon Hunters over there. Check out Nerdy and Nice on its own podcast feed. It's the two of us. Same style, same feeling, just about the other stuff we love to nerd out about. But this is the base. The Resistance base is open. You are here with us, which means you're part of the Resistance, and you love Star Wars. And Lacey, you love Star Wars. How are you?
I do. I'm good. Middle of the summer. It's going by quicker than I ever thought it would. But it's... I find that some of my favorite episodes and times with TRB have been when nothing's going on, because we get to be a little bit more creative. We're not just like regurgitating news and discussing it. Yeah. It's more like, hey, what happened to this thing we were going to talk about months ago? Or what happened to this thought that we had on an episode last year that you guys, the listeners had said, hey, we really want to talk more about that. Well, now we have the time, and I love that.
Yeah, I agree. We could be a little more loose with what we're covering. I completely agree with you. We have some fun topics today that we're going to get into. Not a lot of news going on in Star Wars. I even was looking around the internet at some of the blogs that often post like production updates and rumors and stuff, and those people have disappeared too. So it's very quiet on the news front with Star Wars. They are making things right now. Ahsoka is still filming right now. We have Mandalorian and Grogu in the can, being edited, being worked on right now by Jon Favreau and team. And then before we know it, in about 2 months, cameras are going to roll on Starfighter. So things are happening, but we're not getting a lot of news right now. But we do have a couple quick things we're going to dive into before we get into Will of the Force to kick off the main parts of the show. Lacey, the first one is Deadline spoke to showrunner for Andor, Tony Gilroy. We love him. We love his candidness. We love his honesty. And that continues here, especially now that the show is out and he doesn't have to be maybe as nice as he was during that run. But he talked about the Emmy snubs, his big actors, Diego Luna, Genevieve O'Reilly, no nominations at the Emmys, though Andor is being nominated for Best Drama among
wild.
some other awards.
So
but
insane.
Lacey, what are your thoughts on what Tony Gilroy had to say about these snubs, and also a slight change of tune from what he used to say, which was, once I'm done, I'm done. I've been doing this for forever. I'm out. I did my Star Wars. Everyone else could do their Star Wars. Now he's saying never say never. So I want to get your thoughts on his opinions on the snubs, but also that slight leaving that door cracked open a little bit.
Well, I think just like a lot of us as Star Wars fans and just fans of good TV we're all disappointed that if you're going to recognize Andor in so many different aspects, I believe from sound editing all the way up to best drama, but you're not going to acknowledge the amazing performances that got it there, like Diego Luna or Genevieve O'Reilly. It's not surprising to me that he somewhat agrees with us as the showrunner of, look, there are dozens of performances that are really memorable and great. But he said, ultimately, the victory is that these performances will be celebrated and discussed for years to come. I feel confident about that. He's like, when I boil this down, to me, it reads, I don't care. I don't care about nominations. I don't care about recognition. I care that years from now, people are going to be like, oh my God, that show was so good. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe someone's going to find it 10 years from now and be like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what he cares about. He put out something that's amazing, whether it gets recognized or not, which it is getting recognized, by the way, which I'm sure Disney loves. And I'm sure he's feeling great about it. And I'm sure Diego is too, because Diego did tweet about it being like, hey, I'm so proud of the team that put together this great show. But at the same time, it's okay to be a little disappointed from Diego's perspective of like, hey, I gave my all to the show and I didn't get recognized for it. And for me, we go more into it on Monday with Nerdy and Nice, but it's a little ridiculous that you have these big kind of recognition categories like Best Actor, and you have 6 people from one show or 4 people from one show or 3 people from one show, but then you ignore someone like Diego, which I believe Diego got nominated for the first season of Andor. So I would argue that this season is better than that, and he's not being recognized. But yeah, I think per usual, Tony's like, I don't care. The never say never stuff is not surprising to me because it's a paycheck and you never know what's going to be thrown at you from Disney or Lucasfilm or whoever. So I think it's only safe for him to not close himself off. It's like just smart
I agree.
networking, smart business. Like, why would you?
I agree. It's just previously he had closed himself off.
He did.
When he was
He totally did.
So maybe you're right. Maybe he's seeing, a different
Even if
side
it's
of
producing
things.
side of things. Yeah.
Yeah. But 14 nominations for Andor. Some actors were nominated in supporting roles. Forrest Whitaker and Alan Tudyk. I'm surprised Alan Tudyk was nominated, but pumped for that guy.
Me too.
Also, yeah, like you said, drama series. Giannis Metz was nominated for directing the Who Are You episode. That's the episode where Cyril gets killed at the end of the Gorman Massacre. I mean, those
the
episodes.
episode is so good.
Yeah. 9 is still my favorite. Welcome to the Rebellion, but those episodes will live forever. And to that point, you mentioned it before, Tony Gilroy saying these performances are going to be around forever. And it made me think like awards and stuff like that are so in this moment. Like Harrison Ford just got nominated for his first Emmy at 83 years old. And he's one of the greatest, most celebrated, best resume actors in history.
He's never won anything.
He's never won an Oscar. He's been nominated once in 1985. And here we are 40 years later, finally getting an Emmy nomination that he probably also won't win, unless they're finally like, we got to give Harrison Ford an award. Maybe that's it. But my point is, Harrison Ford's going to be remembered till the end of time. But there might be people who have, on a one-off shot, won an Oscar or an Emmy that people won't remember. So I don't personally care too much about awards. I get the validation of I love this show. I want it to get its recognition, but I don't really, that doesn't affect me.
I mean, it's more than anything, it's for studios to say, look what we did. And it's for actors and production people to then get higher wages. Like that's the big argument. Like if you win an Oscar, you're going to get a pay bump. If you win an Emmy, you're going to get a pay bump, and you can argue for it when you go to get cast in something. That's kind of the big piece of this.
Yeah.
Well, even if you don't win. And that's what a lot of these insider agents and stuff say is like, look, I don't care if my client doesn't win, because now I can still argue, hey, they were nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, but there's even some people who've like won an Oscar and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying though, totally. And there is a part of me that's like, man, I do wish, Diego Luna got nominated and stuff like that. But
I do.
In the end, I'm just glad it's a great show and it's going to live forever, and people are going to
He's
be able
still
to watch
going to be
forever.
there.
So yeah, and that performance is going to be celebrated for a very long time. Sign me up for that. But moving on to Star Wars that is not going to be made. Rian Johnson finally lets the cat out of the bag after 8 years of, well, I'm working on it. We're writing on it, and we're putting the ideas together, and we're really honing in on something. And all these quotes after 8 freaking years of this Rian Johnson trilogy announcement that was announced before his Star Wars movie came out. And we know the politics that went into that. We don't need to go into that. There are old episodes of TRB where you can understand that. My point is, he said his Star Wars trilogy that was officially announced, quote, was all very conceptual. There was never an outline or treatment or anything. Nothing really happened with it. We had a great time working together, and they said, let's keep doing it. The short version is Knives Out. So, Lacey, were you surprised by this? Are you relieved that we finally understand what this was? Do you feel a little hoodwinked? Where are you at with this?
I do not feel hoodwinked at all. I think of all the different creators, podcasters, people in Star Wars creation space, I would say we were the ones that were consistently like, this is not happening, guys. Like, there's no way this is happening. And it's not because we don't want to see it. We just don't think it's happening. And every time a quote would come out where he's on the red carpet and he's like, well, we just had a conversation yesterday. What was the conversation? Hey, I'd like to talk to Kathleen. She's actually busy today, Ryan. Okay, I'll call back at another time. Like, what was that conversation, man? I just, I don't feel hoodwinked. I don't feel bad about it. This is how the world works, especially production and filmmaking and TV and movies, etc. works. Things happen, things don't. And we've heard from numerous people over the years that presented ideas to Lucasfilm and were shot down or started the production and then said, hey, whatever. We saw with Rogue Squadron where they announced that program, that actual show and movie. It's not surprising to me that this is not happening. I think it is a little bit of stretching with Ryan where he was like, I'm coming back. We're doing this. And we commented here about how every time he did an interview, it was like, I talked to them yesterday. I talked to them 6 months ago. We talked over an email once. Hey, yeah, I like Star Wars. Remember that time? Now
Yeah.
it's like, hey, it was just a conversation and they offered me a movie trilogy. And like you said, we went into it. We've been through what happened there. I think it was a nice to do and nothing came of it. And he's on to bigger, better things that he is having so much success with that he's not interested in coming back to Star Wars, to be honest. I think he's good to go elsewhere. And he's like, hey man, I've moved on, basically, being nice. Like he's doing the thing that Tony did, which is never say never, but at the same time, he's gone in a different direction.
Yeah, I think it was more of a Disney snuffing that out than anything. I think Kathleen
Mm,
Kennedy, it's very clear if you connect the dots over the years that she loves Ryan Johnson.
she does.
Um, so
I
and
think
with
the
her
whole team did.
yeah, and I think with her leaving, that may have given him this sort of freedom to sort of reveal the truth on this. Because if she's out, then I think it's definitely nail in the coffin for this because she was the one who's the biggest proponent for him to do it.
I think him saying nothing really happened with it is a nail in the coffin.
Of
Like,
course, of course, but that's I'm not going to say I feel hoodwinked, but I do feel like there was a little bit of a lack of good faith and transparency with your audience, and or as Harrison Ford would call us, customers, because you officially announced this thing, and announcing a Star Wars trilogy is a big deal. And I remember when that came out
the
before TLJ, I'm
photo,
like, we were all
bio,
like,
yeah.
this movie must be incredible if he's getting 3 more movies before this comes out. So they set the bar there. And
Yeah.
then TLJ comes out, it cuts the fandom in half. I don't think it's ever really repaired fully since. Like, do you remember the pre-TLJ times when like
I
the
mean, I wasn't on the podcast then, but I do remember how happy
but as a
and
fan,
joyous it was
yeah,
to be online and like discuss theories with other people. There wasn't as much hatred. It was just like a lot
yeah,
of like, hey, I don't agree with that, but it was like, oh, okay, whatever. You do
yeah,
you. Or like
yeah,
you didn't have to say something. Like people just kept scrolling. Like they wouldn't necessarily jump in immediately and be like, you're a moron, which
yeah,
happens all the time now. So yes, I do remember that time period.
yeah. And you know, there was I wish I had some of the quotes because I really feel like they were dragging us along when it's clear nothing was developed. There was no idea story wise.
Mhm.
There was no necessarily an outline or anything. He said it was very conceptual, which means I want to make a Star Wars movie with Star Wars in it. Like, so they've known that the whole time.
Didn't he say
I
he was
don't.
writing it?
There was a lot of quotes. Maybe we could revisit them next week, but I I just feel like they could have told us sooner that you know what this isn't gonna happen. Like it's okay to tell us that. I don't like there. You don't need to be like. We're not gonna. You don't need to be that protective of how you operate. You announced it. It turns out it's not working out. We're not going to do it. Just let your audience know. Because think about all the years of people going back and forth about it is, it isn't, and just people are arguing about it. And then TLJ
I mean,
comes up again. It's
Variety
like,
poses this as his scrapped Star Wars trilogy was very conceptual. So like they're saying like this is never happening.
yeah, and it isn't. It seems very clear to me that it is not. So I'm not trying to make a big thing out of this, but if they knew it wasn't happening, you should just tell your audience or customers, as Harrison Ford refers to people. But that's it for that. But we have a lot to get into. We have a great discussion about that upcoming Simon Kinberg trilogy and what connection we can finally get between Rey and Obi-Wan. But before that, a lot of people's favorite segment, Will of the Force.
I fear nothing, for all is as the Force wills it.
So there are lots of ways you can support us here at TRB and Nerdy and Nice, but TRB specifically. You can like this video, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and then also audio platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. Leave reviews. It lets us know how we're doing, and then also it just gives us a little bump in the algorithm for people to find us and help us grow the community. But if you want more than that and you want to be a part of what we're doing here, support us, going to events, getting new equipment, doing giveaways, etc., and exclusive content, you can head over to patreon.com/TRB podcasts. Starting at just $5 a month, you get to be a part of the community there, engage with us, ask questions, and then as you go up in the tiers, you get Discord access, special watch-alongs, and much, much more. So like I said, you get to ask questions. This is one of those segments that you get to be a part of the show. It's called Will of the Force. It's one of our favorites here. And you guys get to pose will they, won't they questions along with ones that we ourselves come up with. But most of the time we prioritize yours. So this is one of those episodes. So first up is a Patreon submission from Commander Ian Thompson. What up, Ian?
Hey, Ian.
He asks, similar to the just released 50th anniversary Jaws documentary, will Disney produce a new feature-length documentary for Star Wars 50th anniversary, and who will be tapped to direct it? I'm seeing it. Is this okay? That's another question. I got a little confused because it's one big. My bad. Great question, Ian. So I'm going to start with you, John. Do you think they will release a Star Wars 50th anniversary documentary, and who will direct it?
Disney Plus probably will do this. I don't think they need to. I mean, there's so many already. Like, what are they going to do in a 50th anniversary documentary that you're not going to get in Empire of Dreams? Or
it would be newer interviews with people looking back on it, like Dave Filoni and other people, creatives at Lucasfilm, as well as. But I mean, Light and Magic gave us all of that.
Yeah, exactly. I still think they'll do it because they know people will watch it. And I don't know, it's probably not that big of a budget to create one of those. So I'm going to say they will, though I will just go on record saying, like, I don't think they need to do that. And I'm sure some of the people they'll get, like for the Jaws one, and I love her, but like Emily Blunt's on there just because she's like a big Jaws fan. Like, and I was totally fine with that, but I'm like, who are they going to get that's like the fan of Star Wars? And it's probably going to be someone I'm like, oh God, I don't need to hear them talking about this. So I think they'll do it, Ian. So yes, they will. I just don't know that they need to do it.
I have to agree with you. I think it's an easy marketing spin to get people to watch Disney Plus and/or to push out on ABC as a special. Like it's something easy that they can do and include never before seen footage and all this other stuff. It is weird though, coming off Light and Magic to do this. But I think they would include George. I think there's also an easy plug for the Lucas Museum, which they're doing the San Diego Comic-Con panel with George, which is a big deal. It's like everyone's so pumped that George is going to San Diego Comic-Con. He's not going to be there long, guys. He's going and doing this panel and then maybe in a couple interviews, probably not, and then leaving. But I think it's an easy way for them to also plug that. Like it's kind of a, hey, if you let us plug the museum and put it on your services and talk about it, then we'll also do this interview. It's like we'll do this if you do that marketing spin.
Yeah.
Directing wise, I don't think it's going to be some crazy director.
No.
I guess just for fun, Ron Howard, because it's an easy choice for him to do it. Or Dave Filoni, maybe. Maybe Dave Filoni will direct it.
Yeah, I mean, the director of Jaws at 50 was Laurent Bazereau.
Yeah, so I feel like it's just going to be some random person because they don't want it to overshadow the people on screen.
They're like, we need someone French. Find me a French director that no one's ever heard of immediately.
Bonjour.
Yeah. Documentaries with a French director, people are like, oh, that's going to be art. We got to check that out. Yeah.
We need someone good to do this film.
This Star Wars.
Bonjour.
I'm so sorry. We're doing Pepe Le Pew here. All of our French numbers are going to absolutely tank now. Sorry.
They have to listen to me say situation all the time. I think they're used to it.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm sure their American accents are even more hilarious. Next up, great question, Ian. Thank you so much. Next up is Freddie Prinze Jr. said that he is absolutely finished playing Kanan Jarrus and that coming back for Bad Batch in episode 9 was out of love for Filoni. With that known, we still must ask, will Eman Esfandi's live-action Ezra ever have an on-screen interaction with Force Ghost Kanan Jarrus? John, your thoughts?
I know we often say, because they do, that these people lie about this stuff, like Liam Neeson did. But I 100% believe Freddie Prinze Jr. here. I don't think he's a guy who BS's and just says things. I believe him when I hear his tone when he talks about it. It sounded like he didn't want to come back for Bad Batch or episode 9. He liked that Kanan's legacy was in that show. And he said something like, if he keeps coming around, it gets watered down and I don't like it. And I don't think it's just to put him in there. So I do believe him. So I'm going to say he is finished. What did I write? No, he will not. He will not return and have a scene with Eman Esfandi's live action Ezra Bridger in Ahsoka or anything. Freddie Prinze Jr. is done as Kanan Jarrus. That is my final answer. Regis.
I disagree. I think he will. He is in the photo in Hera's cockpit. Like, it's a photoshopped photo of Freddie Prinze Jr. with the hair and the mustache goatee thing. I think it's an easy thing to do. And if you're arguing he did it out of the love of Filoni, this is Filoni's baby, Ahsoka. He might pull the card being like, hey man, can you come do this thing? And if he loves Dave, he's gonna do it because Dave's asking him nicely.
Do you think Ahsoka season 2?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that has to happen because I think Ezra's really lost his way and Sabine's lost her way and Ahsoka's lost her way. But I think Ezra, more than anything, is trying to figure out who he is and where to go from here. And the only person that's going to be like, it's okay, what happened is okay, is coming from Kanan Jarrus.
I felt like Ahsoka was going to take on that role for him. But
Ahsoka's not with him.
I know, but they'll get back together. But I see your points. I totally get it. It's fair. So we'll see.
What a downer. Next up is a Patreon submission from Commander Terry Mack. What up? She asks, will Andor win Best Drama at the Emmys this year, John?
It will not.
What do you think's going to win? If you're
what's it up against?
I think Severance is going to win.
Oh, it's I'm
going to say Severance.
Do we have the list?
By the way, more anger is coming out this year about how the Bears in comedy, like more people are getting more and more angry that it's in there.
Yeah. We got Andor, The Diplomat. Didn't see that. The Last of Us. Watched a little bit of that. Paradise, The Pit, Severance, Slow Horses, and White Lotus. Yeah,
I think it's between The Pit and Severance because people love The Pit.
There is a 0% chance Andor is winning Best Drama. 0.
Yeah, I agree.
0.0.
It will
It's
not.
gonna,
I
yeah,
I tier Terry. I feel like it's definitely up there with some of the best drama this year. It belongs on that list. But if I'm voting, if Lacey Gilleran is voting, I'm voting for Severance. I'm sorry, Severance is so good.
I would probably, if I could vote, I would vote for Andor, but
You
I do
would?
not have a vote.
Yeah.
But these academies don't really love Star Wars.
They don't. Or
A lot of
sci-fi,
it,
really.
a lot of it roots back to George Lucas being against a lot of the guilds and all that stuff. But and even if they did love Star Wars, I think Severance's momentum is unstoppable. And there's even a couple other shows on here that would probably clip Andor too, like The Pit is getting so much
That's what
buzz.
I said. People love
Yeah,
The Pit.
yeah. So
And their main
unfortunately,
actor got nominated over Diego.
yeah.
Right.
So unfortunately, it sounds like both of us are saying it will not, Terry. I don't want to burst people's bubbles, but that's just objective
Just being
view
honest
on
with
it.
ourselves.
Yeah,
And you know what? If
rooting
it
for it.
wins, then we get to get excited.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for it. I want it to win, but
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
Next up is, will Ryan Gosling have a love interest in Sean Levy's, Levy's with a Y, Starfighter? Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. He will have a love interest in Sean Levy's Starfighter. I think Star Wars is missing romance. I think they want to go for the full Star Wars, like, the hunky guy, hero, love interest thing that they do in every movie now, especially with Sean Levy. He loves love. And he did it with Stranger Things. He did it with Deadpool. He did that love movie where the girl was blind and like the whole movie was a romance. So I'm going to say yes, there will be. I strongly believe that Dakota Johnson was that love interest that they were kind of pitching. I don't know if it's going to be her, but I think they are pitching a love interest for him.
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think you bring in somebody like Ryan Gosling into Star Wars, which has been lacking that element of its storytelling, at least in live action, for a while now. I mean, really, under Disney, there's not a lot. And from the
It's
movie
just Kira and
perspective,
Han.
yeah, it was Kira and Han, and that obviously ended in a very, sad way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they absolutely will. And I think the thought there is Star Wars, while it's done better with female audiences, there's room for improvement. And, no matter how much you try to widen your net, it's still a very male dominated audience. I would say probably like 80-20, maybe even 85-15.
But dudes like love too.
No, I know. But I think like let's try to pull more
Couples.
women into our
Sure.
demographic and watch this. And love is a big part of that. I mean, flip the script and if you talk about audiences who go to see like rom-coms and stuff, you're flipping it to 85-15 female to male. I'm part of that 15 of the male. I do like myself some rom-coms, as we know. But I do think they will, because Ryan Gosling does have that charisma.
He's
does
super attractive and people want to see him making out with someone. Let's be
but he's
honest.
also able to sell us on different types of relationships. Like The Notebook is one thing, but then you have Drive, which
Stupid
is a
crazy
totally
love.
yeah, Drive was a totally different type of adornment. So he's able to do it in a multifaceted way. I could easily see him take that off into a galaxy far, far away. So I think it's a 100% yes. There will be a love interest in this. I just hope he's a very nostalgic Star Wars fan. I hope it doesn't mirror the contentious Han and Leia thing.
Enemies
Give us
to lovers thing.
Yeah, I don't even think Han and Leia were enemies necessarily. Like
I
Rey and
guess they're more
Kylo, yes.
friends to lovers.
Yeah, it was sort of like they both liked each other immediately, but didn't want to admit it, and it was that sort of thing. But I just hope he tells it differently, so I'm not watching it, seeing like them bicker like Han and Leia. I don't need soft reboot narratives, so I think he will. I just hope they do it in a unique way.
I mean, speaking of Han, he wore the Never Tell Me the Odds hat to Celebration, which is Han, which is tied to the greatest romance in Star Wars. So I don't think you represent that character without acknowledging that, like, romance is a huge part of Han's story. Yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Of course,
Yeah.
there's going to be and people want romance. If we've seen from the biggest blockbuster movies in the past few years, Top Gun Maverick, Superman, which is now doing numbers. We got Lois and Clark getting it on in the kitchen. People want love. People want to be happy, see people together, kissing. Let's do it. Let's bring it back to Star Wars. Come on. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's bring it.
Are you ready for the discussion?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
All right, you know what that sound means. It's time for a discussion, and our discussion this week is harkening back to some stories reported late last year, but the next Star Wars trilogy can finally connect Rey to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So, like I said, a few months back, some reports from Deadline and THR came out about Simon Kinberg's upcoming trilogy. Now, as far as we know, this trilogy is happening. Now, there have been disputes on those reports on whether they'll get the episodic numbering treatment. Some at Deadline were saying these will be episodes 10 through 12. Boris Kidd at THR said, I don't think it will. So we're not really sure. I think in our camp, we've been saying that they will do episodes 10 through 12 because just Disney wants to vibe off that.
And we
feeling.
said for Simon specifically, when he got announced, we were both like,
well, we heard trilogy.
Yeah, we were like, oh, that must be 10 through 12.
And it can, like, let's not forget, like, the Skywalkers don't own Roman numerals, folks. They can make episodes 10 through 12, and the Skywalker saga can still be episodes 1 through 9. Like, it's okay. There's no, it's still movies. Like, it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. So, one thing that could connect this trilogy, regardless of whether they number them 10 through 12, is Rey and Obi-Wan. And Jeff Snyder previously reported that he was hearing a lot of noise that Rey will serve as the Obi-Wan for this new trilogy. He's been pretty on point with a lot of his Star Wars reports, so I'm lending credence to that. So what does that mean for Rey? What does that mean for future Jedi? Who will these Jedi be? So Lacey, to start things off, how I came up with this discussion topic was I saw that report because I was looking up, like, because we were saying at the top, there's not a lot of current news going on with Star Wars. We're waiting for these things as they're being made. So let's dig back a little bit to things people may have skimmed over. And the one that came to my mind was this about Rey serving as the Obi-Wan Kenobi for this next trilogy, which may or not be episodes 10 through 12. And then my mind went to the sequel trilogy, and I'm like, Obi-Wan and Rey. I'm like, okay. So in The Force Awakens, Rey has this just mind-melting vision where she hears voices all through the history of the Sith and the galaxy. She hears Palpatine. She hears old Obi-Wan. She hears Yoda. She hears all these different voices. She hears Vader. But the last thing she hears is Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor's melded line of Rey, these are your first steps. The last thing she hears before she falls back to the ground in Maz's basement.
Yes.
Looked like a musty, stinky basement too. But that's not important. What's important is why. Now we know why, because everything we had been hearing was JJ was actually planning to tie Rey to Obi-Wan in a biological
Anakin
sense.
Versus Kenobi.
Yeah.
Bloodlines.
It went in another direction, as we all know, but it's still canon. It still exists. For some reason, Obi-Wan sought out Rey in that vision from Force Ghostville and was like, I got to talk to her. She's the one I got to talk to. And then episode 9, he's like, you know what? I know Luke talked to her, gave her the speech, all these other people, all these Jedi voices around. I'm going to pop in. Rey, these are your last steps. How about that? How does that feel? So then it's like, all right, what's Obi-Wan doing? What's going on here? So my thought is, if Rey is reportedly going to be the Obi-Wan for this new trilogy and be teaching these young Jedi, then Obi-Wan, that might be like a path to justify this connection. Maybe Obi-Wan saw something greater, something in the future about Rey that, yeah, her journey through the sequel trilogy is important. She faced down Palpatine. She faced down her own bloodline, defeated all the Sith, became all the Jedi in a sense, but maybe he saw something greater. Maybe he saw an actual rebuild of the Jedi that maybe Luke wasn't able to do at the time. So I could see a path where Ewan McGregor or Obi-Wan can sort of be a part of this next trilogy as a Force ghost, as a sort of mentor, as a voice for Rey, because they, in my opinion, Lacey, they need to justify why was Obi-Wan talking to Rey. He has no idea who she is. They need to do something to justify that. And I was just clicking, thinking like, well, she's supposed to be the Obi-Wan of this trilogy. Who better to help her steer that than Obi-Wan? So what do you think?
Well, I think the first question most people will probably have is, why is it not Luke? Seeing as he already presented himself to her, he also speaks to her, tried to train her. Why wouldn't it be Luke?
Well, the real answer is Mark Hamill said he is all done with the Star Wars. That's why.
Yes, I just wanted to establish that before we continue on, because people will be like, well, why not Luke? There is something very curious here where in the past few weeks we've heard rumblings of Ewan McGregor either on the set of Ahsoka, season 2 is happening for Kenobi, Ewan's still involved, and you can't help but wonder a little bit if Kenobi or Ewan McGregor is on a schedule or a meeting board or something like that, and someone sees it, and then the rumors start of, oh, they're clearly doing a Kenobi season 2. But it's not, and it's actually something like this, that he's a part of a bigger picture, bigger story. Now, we know Ewan McGregor is more willing than anybody else, except maybe Hayden, to be a part of anything Star Wars related. He'll never say no. I do agree with you. One of my personal biggest issues with the sequel trilogy is that when it started off, my headcanon and what I liked is that she was related to Kenobi. And I think it's very clear when you watch The Force Awakens is that that's what they were leaning into, is that, she is British. She hears from Kenobi. He's clearly speaking to her directly. Like, why isn't it anybody else? So there is a piece of this that if they never discuss this again and never touch on it and never go near this kind of detail, it just feels worthless. Like, it feels like it wasn't planned, which we know ultimately probably wasn't. But as you're pitching, John, I think it's an easy way for them to go back and say, oh, no, there was a reason for that. Just like they do oftentimes in comics, books, TV shows, even future movies, is
clean things up a little.
Yeah, remember this thing happened? Oh, that's because of X, Y, and Z. This is a perfect way to do that, to continue on with Ewan playing Kenobi in a way that doesn't feel like too much, because it's playing into the next story. The only question I have for you, John, is how do you think they're going to do that? Because obviously Alec Guinness is the final Kenobi, so to speak.
Yeah.
So how would they do this? Because I don't think his estate would be okay with it.
Yeah.
He notably wasn't okay with even being a Force ghost in Star Wars, and they kind of lied to him a little bit to get him to be a Force ghost.
So I think the path for that to happen canonically has already been carved by Dave Filoni in Ahsoka by bringing a young Anakin back post Return of the Jedi in visions to Ahsoka, because that's the version of Anakin she recognized. So Rey doesn't have a version of Obi-Wan she recognizes. Obi-Wan, Alec Guinness came back to Luke because that was the old man he knew. Add to that, it's clearly like the word Rey in The Force Awakens was Alec Guinness. They pulled it from him saying afraid. Yeah. And then the rest is Ewan McGregor's voice.
These are your first steps, yeah.
And then in episode 9, it's Ewan McGregor's voice again.
Which was a last-minute ad, by the way. Ewan McGregor famously said that they called him like weeks out before this movie going out. And they were like, hey, can you come record this last-minute thing for us? So I wish I could be in on those meetings where they were like, no, we have to have this line in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, it's a cheap bookend, but it was a nice little bookend. But I think having it be Ewan's voice for both those movies speaking to Rey opens that door up. But then, like I said, it's clear that while Anakin wasn't a Force ghost in the World Between Worlds, at the end of the series, he was a Force ghost, and it was Hayden Christensen Anakin. It wasn't.
Well, they also did in Return of the Jedi. They replaced it with Hayden.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
They did ultimately replace it where that's Force Ghost Anakin now. But I think that does allow a Force Ghost to be whatever version of themselves they want to be.
They could probably write it away with him being like, "Oh, I've learned how to de-age myself," or something like stupid.
Or he'll just show up and say like, you know, when I was your age, I went through this and that, and he appears to her as that age or something. That's like the least of my worries.
I feel like that's a big piece for me, like how he presents himself.
Yeah, but if they have sort of kicked that door down in a way, I don't.
Then are you replacing Alec Guinness at the end of Return of the Jedi now?
No, because that's Luke's Obi-Wan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like maybe Dave Filoni decides like Force ghosts are how you perceive them. You know, like Leia and Han didn't see those Force ghosts. Only Luke saw them. So who knows how the Force world works in the post-mortal life. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. There's an easy way to explain that, especially in something so fantastical as Star Wars. That's fine. But to the larger point of it, I think it would just be a cool idea to incorporate Obi-Wan. And he doesn't even necessarily have to show up with the blue glow or anything. I love Obi-Wan just speaking to Luke in A New Hope at the end. There's something haunting about it. There's an echo to it. There's a mystery to it. Like, where's that voice coming from? Is it a physical thing? Adding a little bit more of that mystery to it would be very interesting. And having Obi-Wan, like, help her, I think would be a very cool thing. I don't know if they're going to do it, but if Rey is going to serve as the Obi-Wan Kenobi for that trilogy, and he spoke to her just out of nowhere in The Force Awakens, like, why was it her? Why was it him? You know, why wasn't it Qui-Gon? Why him? And then him connecting with her at the very end as well. And it's both times it's Ewan McGregor for the most part. That door's open because they didn't make her a Kenobi. So now it's a question that's out there that we're asking right now. Why did Obi-Wan connect with Rey out of all people? So I think
it's a good question.
It's interesting. I think it's interesting and they could do it.
And it's also a good way to connect older fans or more original trilogy fans with the newer phase of Star Wars.
Oh, the prequel fans too, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that are like, well, what about me? I feel like I've been left behind. Like all my favorite characters are dead. You know, I have no connection to Rey. I am not connected to any of these characters. Why should I care about it? And it's like, okay, but if we bring back Ewan McGregor, which everybody universally loves Ewan McGregor, no matter how many things people find wrong with the prequels, Ewan McGregor is not one of them.
Yeah, I agree.
So it could be an easy way to bring those fans in as, hey, remember this guy you really love? He's also there.
Yeah. And they could have made it Yoda who said, Rey, these first steps they are, it could have been Yoda. It wasn't Yoda. It was
all
Obi-Wan.
He said was energy, right? It surrounds us.
Yes, yeah. It was the line from Empire.
Energy.
Yeah. So I think being that it was Obi-Wan speaking to Rey lends a lot to it, but also the fact that, in real life, but also in story, like the Skywalker saga is over. So whether this is episode 10 or not, you can't pull the Skywalkers back in. We can't roll up with all of a sudden Force Ghost, Ben Solo, Leia, and Luke and be like, Skywalker Saga's over, but we're still going to be here. Plus, Mark Hamill saying he's done. It's clear that they are going to sever and not pull the Skywalkers into the continuation. That's going to be the line. You're still going to get Millennium Falcon, Chewie, R2, C-3PO, all the familiar evergreen stuff that is ageless because they're droids or creatures or ships and stuff like that. Those will carry on and be that connection that brings that nostalgia, that feeling, that Force Awakens vibe that we had in 2014 and 2015. That's all there. It's all going to be good. The Skywalkers are the line in the sand. We can't bring them over to the continuation. Otherwise, it feels like the Skywalker saga is over, but it's like there's still a little bit over here. I think they got to draw that hard line. So then where do you go? Logically, it's whoever spoke to Rey. And who spoke to Rey? Obi-Wan did. And he did twice. And he was the only person, he was the last person to speak to her when she had that first vision when she touched the lightsaber. That was a really big moment. And and again, because they didn't continue with any sort of biological connection there.
His chest.
It was his chest with Anakin's lightsaber in it. Yeah. So I don't know if it was his chest or just a chest. I don't know if it was.
I thought it was his. That was like the whole thing. Is that it? Like I don't know if they ever confirmed it, but it very much looks exactly like the chest from A New Hope that he goes into.
I don't see where she would have gotten his little chest.
Neither do I. But I want to throw something out to you, and again, it's out there. It's a little bananas. Could you ever see them reneging on her being a Palpatine?
No.
You don't think they could ever be like, he was just lying?
No. I think that would be even worse than for people who don't like that she is a Palpatine, because then that's big. That's a lot of hoodwinking. That's a lot of hoodwinking.
I'm just saying, what if they said like she's not a Palpatine and she is a Kenobi? Therefore, that's why Kenobi is here.
I think people will.
And she's like, why'd I take this name then?
People will hate the sequel trilogy even more then. Like, there's no chance they can do that. She has to be that's locked in now. Like, there's no going back. That. Yeah. In trilogy, you want to toss things around, fine. Like, she's nobody, and then like, I'm just kidding.
I still find that
actually
confusing. My joke was that they said she was, clearly leaning towards Kenobi. Then she was nobody. Then she's a Palpatine. And then it's like, well, actually, you are nobody, or actually, you are. Could you imagine?
And also, like the part that messes it up too is, she was a product of love, but the father was a clone strand of Palpatine. So, the amount of retconning, and I think that would actually like just destroy Star Wars if they changed it at this point, because everyone's had.
I'm blanking right now. Why did they kill him? Because he ran away.
Palpatine of the Stoon killed.
Palpatine wanted the granddaughter. Is that what it was?
Yeah, or he wanted her killed because he sensed that she could be a threat. They flip-flop that around a little bit, because he said like,
it's a little messy.
He's like, I wasn't trying to kill you. I have your throne here now that you're here to kill me. Like classic evil people stuff.
Yeah. Monologuing.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, so I think that stuff's locked in. And it doesn't even have to be that big of a thing. I'm not saying he has to handhold her as this mentor, but Obi-Wan did fail as a mentor, and Luke was sort of a victory for him, but Yoda really did a lot of the heavy lifting after Obi-Wan died. So I just
think, if she gets visited by multiple Jedi?
I don't know.
Like, not just Kenobi, like she also gets Yoda, and then she gets Qui-Gon, and then she gets
I think they're gonna try to minimize that as much as they can.
Could you imagine? It's like what's the word? The like Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh yeah,
all the different
one
Jedi.
Night it's Yoda, one night it's Obi-Wan, and the next night, yeah. Everyone is so. Here's another thing. So many people are obsessed with that idea that the Force Ghost should have physically showed up in Episode 9, and I couldn't disagree more.
I actually am one of those people. I would have loved that. I would have loved it. I would have loved all of it. Give it to me. Someone did a screenshot where they photoshopped it all, and I thought it looked awesome. I was like, yeah, I'm in.
Then why?
If you're gonna give me that, give it to me. Don't give me just voices. Don't give me people in closets.
Fine,
bring them out. Fly them out.
Why didn't they? When he was being built and hanging on a wire, and he was like half-bodied, and he had no eyeballs, why didn't the Force Ghost just roll up then and take care of him? If they could just pop in and do some Force stuff, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I'm confusing what movie we saw. At the end, she
Yeah.
kind of like gains power from them, right? Or like courage from them. They don't do anything. They're not holding the saber for her.
What people like, someone made a altered version of that with the Force ghosts like doing the Force behind her.
I just watched K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's very similar to this. I would think that the Force ghosts would give their energy to her or like support her to do it on her own. I wouldn't say like, hey, they're coming in to fight him. That's not what I meant. What I meant is if you're going to have them show up and have their like say things and give their voices, it would have been cool to watch them walk out of the darkness and say their line.
Too much.
No, I love it. Give it to me.
A little follow that bird.
Love it. All of it.
Yeah, I don't like
It's
it.
better than her staring up at the ceiling.
I thought that was one of the better moments. I love that serene moment that she was having. I love
Hated
that.
it. Hated it.
Well, I like the movie you didn't. So there you go.
I think you're just happy Ben Solo died. If we're really going to get down to it.
No, I'm not happy he died. I just knew he had to. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
To be clear. And I've been very clear about this on this podcast because you have to be very clear about those types of things these days. Very clear.
You just got really serious. I was just kidding.
I'm not
Got very serial.
No. So yeah, I don't have much more on this. I again, I don't think it needs to be this big thing, but I think having Obi-Wan speak to Rey again would and offer some explanation as to why would like make TFA and episode 9 even better, because I still now I know, like I said, I know why JJ did it initially, because I think he did want to have her be a Kenobi. That's gone, but it's still canon that he spoke to her. So that leaves this sort of void to me, like, why? Why Obi-Wan? Why wasn't it Yoda? Why wasn't it someone else? So I think it would be cool if they did it. If she's going to be the Obi-Wan of this next trilogy, who better than Obi-Wan to connect with her once again, now that she's at that level, to help guide her a little bit. And also, little cherry on the sundae, you get your little Ewan McGregor cameo. People love him. He gets another Star Wars paycheck and more autographs and more photos and maybe another house if he needs one. You know?
I'm in.
Yeah. All right. Let us know what you think. Do they need to up that connection? Do you want to see Obi-Wan connect with Rey again? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the chat, and feel free to let us know your thoughts, your ideas, because this having that Star Wars conversation is always fun when people get to add their thoughts into the mix, because it's all speculation on this, but speculation with a little validity behind it.
Sure.
All right, Lacey, let's get to some of our listeners' questions.
I've been wondering, what are midichlorians?
Okay, it's time for Ask the Resistance. Thank you so much to anyone who has sent in a question. You can email us a question. We put a call out for questions on social media, typically Blue Sky and Twitter X. Or you can just send a question, use hashtag Ask the Resistance at any point. We'll find it and we'll use it on the show. But we have 3 good ones here. So thank you to everybody who submitted questions. It means a great deal to us. We really appreciate it. And now we find out who we have chosen. Lacey, the first one here, we have Sith T Minutes at Sith T Minutes on Blue Sky. And the question is, what qualities does the next major trilogy villain need to have to stand up on their own in a class of characters that include Vader and Palpatine?
No mercy, no empathy, straight baddie, like evil dude. Because even at the end of Vader, he got redeemed. We need no redemption, no niceness, no soft affection. Like, we just need someone that hates everyone, doesn't care about emotions except hatred, evil, and I'm going to kill everyone, and is out to destroy. I need like a bad. That's what Palpatine, just even though I hate him so much, That's what makes him a good bad guy, because he doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about you or anybody else. He cares about number one, himself.
Yeah.
And he's willing to take down anybody that threatens him, that gets in his way, that even tries to do any type of thing that's not in line with what he wants, which creates fear and division amongst people and makes people do stupid things because they're so terrified of what he's going to do, because he is the big bad. We need someone like that doesn't have any redeemable qualities. Nothing. No childhood stories. No, hey, I understand where they're coming from. Just bad person. That was a
I
lot.
like that. No, I like that. I am a big fan of pure evil villains. I think the blurred lines that we've seen in a lot of movies and TV this day is getting a little tired.
It's like everybody's like, oh, I feel bad for him. And it's like, okay, but like maybe we just need a bad guy.
But also like the whole they think they're the good guy thing. Like
That's
I'm
been
done
outplayed,
with
yeah.
I'm done with that too. Like I want a guy who's like, no, I know I am horrible, but I am still doing this. That's a scary villain.
Like Thanos. Thanos is a good villain.
Yeah, but at the same time, Thanos is like, I'm helping the universe by doing this. You know, it's like, all right. I do love Josh Brolin though. But
he's
what can make this villain stand out? Make maskless. Let's start there because we already did it again with Kylo Ren. So let's do a no mask villain. Maybe no lightsabers. I do think how Palpatine was introduced in the original trilogy was cool. We've been talking about Jaws a lot recently on Nerdy and Nice and our bonus mini episodes on Patreon. You know, the shark not being seen a lot. I like the idea of maybe we hear about this main, puller of the strings villain in the first one. We see them briefly in the second one, and then it's game on in the third one. Allow us to develop a mystery, sort of like how fans develop mysteries about Boba Fett.
With glimpses of what it is, yeah.
Yeah, like Boba Fett, they came out with the figure, and people are like, what is this? What do I do with this guy? And all these kids start playing with this toy and making up a story, and all of a sudden, boom, then he shows up at the movie, and that's what he is. Let people wonder. Give us mystery. Bring mystery back to the villains. And then also, I agree with you. Completely 100% staunch evil. Understands that they are.
Not redeemable.
Yeah, agreed. Understands that they are evil, and does things magically, but in a different way. I don't want Force lightning. I don't want red lightsaber. Give me something different. It can involve the Force, but make it unique. And also, from an aesthetic, like maybe do something different, like make it a little medieval feeling. Maybe he or she lives in a castle, and there's a new sort of aesthetic, not like Vader's castle, but like more of a.
I want an alien.
An alien villain?
I want an alien villain. Yeah,
that could be. That's a way to make it unique.
I don't
too.
want someone attractive. Give me someone gross.
Oh yeah,
like Vecna.
Yeah.
Like give me something really gross.
Yes.
To be like, oh, that person sucks.
Yeah, but every once in a while they did give us human Vecna, and he's like this like handsome Kurt Cobain looking guy. So
I know he plays like heartthrobs and other kind of franchises. No, I'm talking about like wormy slug Vecna.
Yes,
which even though some people are like, he's attractive.
I like that.
Shut up.
Yeah, alien big bad would be cool.
Yes.
And then there was one other element that I thought of that would be cool. Oh, I mean, a woman main villain in a trilogy would be great, but now it looks like Sean Levy's doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I think those are good ways to make it unique. Sifty,
I think it's got to be a dude though, because it's Rey versus a dude.
Yeah, I dig you.
So I think it's got to be that.
All right, I'm down. All right, thank you, Sifty, for that question. Now we go to Kylo 10 at Save Ben Solo. Yes. And the question is, you're a Television Academy voter who actually knows what they're doing. Ooh, shots fired out of the gate.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah. From Ashley here, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Which Andor actors do you nominate in the supporting actor and supporting actor categories? Who would you pick if you had to pick only one in each category? So supporting actor and supporting actress categories. Lacey, do you have picks for this?
Denise Go.
Mm-hmm.
Deidre Miro. 100% deserves it. She was incredible in both seasons, but specifically in this one, she is evil. We were talking about evil. She is a bad bee.
Yeah.
And she just plays it so well. Like even just the point, like her reaction to that and her being in jail, and then like the way the whole interaction between her and what's his name? I'm saying Kyle Solar in my head, but it's not his name. Is that
Cyril.
real? Cyril Karn. Is his name's Kyle Solar, right? I didn't just make that up. So that's funny.
Yeah.
Cyril Karn, his initials are flipped. Did you know that?
Ah!
I didn't realize that till just now. I'm not like freaking out about it. I'm just saying, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't think of that. And then Lucian would be the other one. Luthen.
Yeah.
That guy.
Good pick.
Would be my actor. He was incredible, and his deliveries on all his big moments between Genevieve O'Reilly or Deidre Miro at the end deserve the nomination.
Yeah. I'm going with Stellan Skarsgård for Luthen Rail. I am actually shocked he didn't get nominated.
I am too.
If Alan Tudyk and Whitaker got nominated, like he was so freaking.
I don't know how Whitaker got nominated. He was
probably the best actor in this series, if we're being honest.
Stellan Skarsgård was the best one.
Yeah, because he was playing two sides of the character. Like he was freaking great. So
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Forrest Whitaker was that good. I'm sorry.
Well, that I will say the Rido speech got me jacked.
Sure, that must be what they submitted. That must be what they submitted.
I still get goosebumps thinking about that moment.
I'm just saying overall on the total of performances.
Sure,
there are several other people I would pick before Forrest Whitaker or Alan Tudyk, but they both deserve it.
Yeah, I agree. They both deserve it. But yeah, Stellan Skarsgård for Luthen Rail would absolutely be my pick for actor, and for actress, Genevieve O'Reilly, Mon Mothma. She took a character that was a blip on the radar in Star Wars and made it this incredibly viable entity in this franchise. And obviously with great writing and directing and what have you. But for someone who was cut out of Revenge of the Sith, 20 years later comes back and gives it a great, really good performance in season 1, and then just a knockout run in season 2. She'd be my pick for that. So yeah. Last question here, Stephen A. Bowman. What is up, Stephen? Way to get your handle, buddy. At Stephen A. Bowman on X. Stephen said, I know this topic has kind of been mentioned in passing, but I'm curious if there are any up-and-coming actors that you would love to see appear in a future Star Wars project. And if so, who and what kind of character would you like them to play? Man.
I mean, David Cornsweet is the one that we've been talking about recently, and he's pretty up and coming. Now he's
I would say
bigger because he got Superman, but before that he was up and coming. And he's been talking nonstop about Star Wars. He's really, really pushing for that meeting.
I mean, he was asked more Superman sequels, or you get to be a Jedi Knight in Star Wars, and he was like,
Jedi Knight.
No. He's like,
yeah,
Jedi
Knight. Yeah, totally. Maybe
I'm having a hard time thinking of this. You may have to pick my answer for me.
Daisy Edgar Jones from Twisters. Like, she hasn't really had a big moment yet, but like Twisters was good, but she's not, I wouldn't say she's like a household name yet. She was good.
So you picked 2 people from Twisters. Got it.
I was going to say Glenn Powell, but I wouldn't say he's up and coming. He's pretty up there.
No, but Cornsweet, Twisters.
Yes. Yeah. But he's not, I would say Cornsweet is now up there.
Yeah.
But he's up and coming.
I agree.
Superman, pun intended. Up and away.
Yeah, who's up and coming? I'm sorry, Steven. I'm having a tough time.
Because like everybody I've seen recently, would you call up and coming? Because it's like they're all kind of, I guess, Britt Lauer maybe from Severance. Like, she's great. She's up and coming. That was like her first.
I know, but she's like
acting.
40. I like, you know what I mean?
So
like
she could play a bad girl, or.
But she's been around now, I feel like.
I would call her up. Or do we say up and coming is only?
Oh, you're right. Doesn't mean have to be young. You're right. Yeah.
So maybe Brit, because she's great.
Yeah.
It's just tough because I'm trying to think of people that like really got my attention that I've never heard of before said project.
I know, me too. I'm having a
Brit
hard time
is
with
probably
it.
the person that stuck out to me the most from Severance,
That's
and
a good pick.
that's a
Yeah.
recent pick.
That's a good pick. I'm having a hard time because I feel like actors like, and you may have been sort of like alluding to this point, but like they just sort of like arrive on the scene and then they're just
They do.
household names all of a sudden. I'm trying to think of people in shows maybe like
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe some people from Bridgerton because I liked some. But even then, Bridgerton, you have Jonathan Bailey, who was from Bridgerton. He was amazing. He played Anthony. Now he's in Wicked. He's in Jurassic Park. He's in, all these different things. And you're like, oh, he's not up and coming anymore.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
tough.
like I even just Googled best up and coming actors and it's like Florence Pugh. I'm like, up and coming? I'm like, get
She's
out of
not up
here.
and coming,
She's
okay.
in major billion-dollar movies.
She's leading them. She
Yeah.
led Thunderbolts.
Yeah, if she's up and coming, then people have no chance. Because-
Probably, what's his name? Pullman? Is Lewis Pullman? He's probably up and coming.
Lewis
He was just in
Pullman.
Thunderbolts.
Oh, Bob in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
probably, I would say, up and coming. He's someone that's on people's radar, but he wasn't like the guy yet.
How about this kid? He's on this list that I Googled, and he was. I still feel like he's not a household name, but people know him. Noah Jupe. So he was the kid. He was the son in Quiet Place. He was in Ford vs Ferrari.
Oh, I haven't seen Ford vs Ferrari or Quiet Place.
I feel like he hasn't like become a name yet, but he's.
Mhm.
So I think that's up and coming, and he's a good actor. He's 20 now. I'm gonna say Noah Jupe, Steven. That's my pick.
I think my pick also, because I've said a couple now, and they actually are all women, seemingly, because those are the things that I'm watching. Simone Ashley, who's been in a couple of rom-coms, and then she was in Bridgerton. She's gorgeous, and I think she would be a killer Jedi.
Oh wow, she is gorgeous. Jeez Louise.
Yes, she is.
Um,
Face card, never getting denied.
and we have to say what
So
type
attractive.
of character. That's part of the
I
question.
said Jedi.
Oh, she's a Jedi? Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to say Noah Jupe will play a Jedi also. He looks like he's going to be a Jedi.
Someone was saying online that Simone Ashley and David Cornsweet should be in a rom-com together because it's like two extremely attractive people.
That's usually what they do.
And I was like, I'd take it. I'd watch it
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah, I agree. I would watch it too. All right. That is it. Thank you, everybody who submitted questions. We appreciate it. We may even use some that were submitted next week, but we really thank you for submitting those. You always make the show more fun and more interesting, so we appreciate it very much. To Sifty Minutes, Kylo 10, Stephen A. Bowman, and anyone who submitted, thank you so much. Loaded show, but shows must come to an end, and this episode is coming to an end right now. We want to thank everybody for listening and watching and being a part of TRB. As Lacey said, make sure you're subscribed everywhere. Spread the word. Word of mouth is so huge for us. So if you know somebody who loves Star Wars, you know they're going to dig TRB.
Mm-hmm.
Send them a link to the show or send them a YouTube video or something. Bring them into the base because the more the merrier, and everyone's welcome in the TRB base. Make sure you follow us, TRB Podcast, everywhere. Lacey mentioned Patreon before. Big shout out to the Generals and Spice Runners on Patreon. The Generals: Carmelo, John Reese, Jetta Rosewater, Frank Grande, Chris Morales, Mike Ramori, Brendan McLaughlin, Sneaky Zebra, Dave Hornack, Colin Cormier, Stephen Garrow, Sachi, and Darth Snips. Thank you. And the Spice Runners: David Probus, Neil SHAH, Kendall Gellner, Andrew Staley, Jeremy Myers, the Fort Worthian, and Brian Smith. And however you support us, thank you all so much. Lacey, where can people find you to talk about all that stuff we talked about in this episode?
I want to hear what up and coming people that you want to see in Star Wars at Lacey Gilleran at It's Lacey Gilleran on TikTok. And get ready, guys, because Monday, Nerdy Nice is hitting hard. And I'm talking all about my latest obsession that I can't stop talking about. I call John multiple times a day, ask him if he's watched it yet. K-pop Demon Hunters. Obsessed. In my now upper echelon of movies I've watched in the past few years, if not ever.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh my God, that cat, the tiger cat, is like it hooked me.
Mm.
Multiple things hooked me, but that was one of the things. Anyway,
But he's like a demon cat though.
love it. Love it.
Yeah. All right.
Join us then, because I have been obsessing about this for about a week and a half, and I finally get
Yep.
to talk about it nonstop. Thank you.
Yes, and I don't know when it is coming out because I went on a barn burner. I did like 24 minutes doing my spoiler review of Superman. So
He
Lacey's
did what I've been doing to him on the phone about K-pop Demon
Yeah.
Hunters.
So Lacey has her editing work cut out for her to cut that down. But my spoiler review of Superman is finally arriving. I apologize to everybody on Nerdy and Nice. I thought it was going to be out by then. Life
okay.
happens. It's crazy. So I finally did get around to it. So check our YouTube channel for my review. Spoiler review of Superman. I've been a Superman fan since I was 5 years old. I get into it in the review. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy Superman. But back to Star Wars or anything. You want to hit me up, talk to me at Johnny Hoey on Blue Sky mainly, also on X. And that is it. We'll be back with you as always in a week's time talking Star Wars. But then, as we said, Nerdy and Nice on its own podcast feed. Check it out. You'll love it, I promise. And that's coming out on Monday. But from us here at TRB, we hope everyone's doing well. We hope you're staying cool. We hope you have a great upcoming weekend. And until next time, we'll see you around, kids.